Welcome to another episode of Daily Gym. Have you ever felt that feeling of being overwhelmed by the amount of work or the number of tasks that need to be completed by the end of the day? I definitely have. So for myself, I've developed a 5-step process that I go through whenever I feel overwhelmed or whenever I have a colleague or somebody that I'm managing that has too much on his or her plate. The first step is to make a list of all the tasks that need to be completed within a certain time frame, which in my case is usually a particular day. Then the second step is asking myself the question, is this task really necessary or not? What many people confuse is that they think the task is what is necessary, while it's generally the outcome that they are responsible for. What this means is that you can either change the task for something else, another type of task that can get you to that outcome, but that takes up less time. Or you can remove it altogether because you come up with another way in which you can get to the desired outcome. Sure enough, there might be moments where you think everything is equally important and everything has to be completed. There's no way I can scratch anything. Whenever that happens to me, I always challenge myself by thinking, what if I don't have an 8 or 10 hour day today, but I only have 4 or 5 hours? And you will find something funny happening in your brain because it almost becomes like a survival mode. I was already overwhelmed with 8 or 10 hours for all these tasks. There's no way I can get everything done within a 4 or 5 hour frame. So your brain then starts really challenging yourself to think, this is what is really needs to get done and this one doesn't. Your list starts dwindling and either you outsource things to other people or you are able to you're able to postpone it to another day by talking with your manager or talking with your client or your customer or anybody that's involved in that particular task. From there, with the remaining tasks, I go to step number 3, which is asking myself, is it necessary for me to finish this task? Again, many people confuse that they are responsible for the task, while they're actually responsible for the outcome. What that means is that you're generally able to ask or use other people to help you finish that particular task. If you're a business owner or manager, of course, it's much easier because you're much more able to delegate the task. But even if you're at the lowest rank within your company, you either can ask somebody for a favor or somebody owes you a favor. You can outsource it by exchanging money for time and having somebody else do it who's maybe able to do it more efficiently. Or you can set up some kind of team in which as a team, you're doing different kinds of tasks that everybody individually was responsible for. There are many ways in which it can get done. But the question here is, does it have to be completed by me, or am I simply responsible for the outcome? Then I go to step 4. I only have a few tasks left. And from there, I note down for myself how much time I expect each task to take, which then leads me to the final step. How can I do each of these tasks more efficiently? Again, because you're generally responsible for the outcome, not so much for the task, there are many ways in which you can be more efficient, in which you can come up with creative ways so that the task or getting to that particular outcome doesn't take as much time as you originally thought. Of course, it requires some practice and training in the beginning. And sure enough, you might have to talk with your manager about getting an extension or seeing if they have any tips for you or advice for you on how to make it more efficient. If I'm thinking for myself or I'm talking with my manager, I will generally think, how can I do it much faster or more efficient? Or how can I come up with a better way? But if I'm actually managing somebody, I will not give them the order that they have to be more efficient or tell them they have to be more efficient, but I will say, how can we make sure that you can accomplish this within your time frame? That way the person doesn't feel left alone, but it creates a sense of unity, of bonding that will generally give you a lot of benefits as a company, but also as a manager down the road. That's all I have to say for today. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, so have a nice day, everybody.